Hello, this is my take on the Blaze Fenix OTK for 2013. Let's get right into the deck profile. First we have Elemental Hero Bubbleman, just one of those. One Elemental Hero Avion, one Elemental Hero Burstinatrix, an Elemental Hero Clayman. This is basically just the requirements for getting into Elemental Hero Electrum. So you can take all your banished cards and shuffle them back into the decks, which is required for the Blaze Fenix loop. We have the Neo Flammable Hedgehog. That's basically my Pyro type, just for getting into Blaze Fenix. He's also a tuner, and the reason why I chose this one is because his effect. It helps me overcome some certain decks. When he's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, I can remove from play one card in my graveyard, which is really good for going up against Inzectors, especially when I have a Hornet in the graveyard. They destroy this, and you just remove from play the Hornet. It's really helpful. We've got a Marshmallow just for stall. Got a Morphing Jar for draw power. 3 Swift Scarecrows. This is the machine type that you'll be needing for the Blaze Fenix, and it just helps with a lot more stalling. 3 Cyber Valley. I'm running these for now just for more draw power and stalling, but I'll probably be replacing them with Fossil Dynas just because I'll be able to stop my opponent from special summoning, get rid of their special summon monsters, and when I need to get rid of the Fossil Dyna so I can fusion summon, I'll just overlay them for level 4s. I have onto spells actually. We have main card in the deck, Fusion Gates. 3 Messengers, just for more stalling. Really helpful card. I prefer them over Level Limit Area B, mostly because it's so easy to get into Xseeds nowadays. And Xseeds are not affected by the level limit, of course. 1 day apiece. We can only use one of these now, thanks to the March ban list. Basically just for stalling, drawing more cards, and that's about it. 2-Product Duality, just more draw power, searching options, and this deck doesn't do a lot of special summoning until you get your combo set up for the Chain Material, the Fusion Gate. We have Star Goblin. It doesn't really matter if you're going to give your opponent life points, because with the Blaze Fenix loop, they will lose all those life points anyways. So this is just good for thinning your deck out and getting those cards that you really need quickly. I'll only go for 2 Terraforming. It can kind of be a dead draw sometimes, especially when you have like 2 or 3 Fusion Gates in your hand already. So that's why I only want to run 2 of these. Some people run 3, but I find it inconsistent. Heavy Storm, pretty basic, just for getting rid of your opponent's back row. You never know, it might eventually hurt you when you're trying to pull off the big combos, or they could have some MST or Dust Tornadoes set for when you set your chain materials, so it's just good to get rid of that in the beginning. Just 2 MST. Reason we're only running 2 is because we have 2 Dust Tornadoes in here, and those are a lot more preferred in this deck, because when you use a Dust Tornado and you destroy your opponent's spell and trap, you can set 1 trap from your hand, or spell, which is a lot better for placing the chain material. That's why I took out the 3rd MST. And we have your 3 chain materials. This is basically for using with the fusion gate. It allows you to search your deck, your hand, your field, or your graveyard, and remove from play the fusion materials from that. And the 2 Dust Tornado, like I said, this is reason why we took out the 3rd MST. Just more spell and trap destruction, and this makes it a lot easier placing chain material, so you immediately get to use that next turn. And I do 3 Dark Bribe and a Solemn just for protecting the fusion gate and the chain material. Also the same reason I run Starlight Road, just in case they end up trying to MST the certain cards that you need to keep on the field. And Starlight Road is also really good for if they try to Torrential, which is not really that big of a deal in this deck, but if they do Torrential, you can just bring out a free Stardust. And that's all for the main deck. Let's get on to the extra. Basically, I only do a few rank 3 Exceeds for now. Pretty basic. Windups and mains. Good for stalling, good for getting rid of your opponent's cards. Tempo, just in case I have problems with their Exceeds. I can remove materials from them. Acid Golem, just in case you need to get over something that's on the field and it's really annoying you. He's a decent beater. Leviathan Dragon, basically the same reason for Acid Golem. That's all for the rank 3 Exceeds. We have Photon Papal Operative. I'm probably going to be taking this out once I get Gaga Cowboy, just because we don't attack much in this deck, and Photon Papal Operative don't really have trouble with your opponent's defense positions monsters, so it's basically a filler for now. Maestro, good for stalling, he can keep himself alive. Also, he's like a Book of Moon, so it's good for flipping monsters face down that you don't really want their effects up. Like for instance Jinzo, or just something that really annoys you and you want to get rid of, because Jinzo will prevent you from activating your chain materials. And we have Utopia, just more stall, pretty much. Also a decent attack. We have the 1 Stardust for the Starlight Road. Pretty much protection. Tribute him if you have to keep your back row safe. One Shining... One Elemental here, the Shining, just because once I get Electrum out to the field, I want to fusion summon him, just so I can loop back into the Blaze Fenix. So, here I'll set this up. We have 3 Electrum, part of the Blaze Fenix loop of course, and 3 Blaze Fenix, our main card. So we get Electrum out, and we're using 1 of each hero we have in our deck. Avion, Bubbleman, Clayman, and Burstinatrix. And those are banished, so immediately he comes to the field, shuffle all banished cards into their decks. And those Blaze Fenix, well, normally you'll have 1 Blaze Fenix out first, because you'll banish a Pyro type and a Machine type from your deck, field, graveyard, or hand, and you'll get the first Blaze Fenix out. and you'll banish first Blaze Fenix after using his effect and machine type. Get the second Blaze Fenix out, and just repeat the first process. Use his effect, banish him since he's a pyro type, and banish another machine type. Get the third Blaze Fenix out. Once the third Blaze Fenix is out, you'll need to get into Electrum. You'll banish one of each of the main heroes that we run. And all these banished cards will basically go back in the extra deck, and the others go back to the main deck. Since we have this Electrum just staying on the field, we'll banish him, and we'll banish one light type from our main deck. And we'll just get out Shining. This isn't like really necessary, but it helps for keeping more cards on the field to do more damage with Blaze Fenix. And then we'll banish a Blaze Fenix and a machine type. Get the second Blaze Fenix out. Banish himself, machine type, third Blaze Fenix out. And then we'll banish all four of the main heroes that we have. Get another Electrum out. Return all advantage to our extra deck and main deck. If your opponent is still alive, which they shouldn't be by now usually, we'll banish the Blaze Fenix and another machine type, get the second one out, and just keep repeating the process pretty much. And then, if they are still alive, we'll do another Electrum. All the banish go back to our extra deck and main deck. Same process, banish the pyro type and machine type. Second Blaze Fenix. Banish again. Third Blaze Fenix. And if you absolutely have to, another Elemental Hero Electrum. Banish and machine type for second Blaze Fenix. Banish and machine type for third Blaze Fenix. And if you just so happen to run like XYZs that are rank 10, just if you want to do the Gustav Max, you'll overlay the 2 Electrum and just immediately get him out and detach and just do 2000 if you absolutely need to. But usually the duel is over long before this. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, feel free to post them. That's all for my Blaze Fenix 2013.